about sharecropping, and then you read about how that relates to like the Okies that moved over to Oklahoma. Today you're going to read more about a program that started in the 1940s. It was called the Bracero program, where people brought over, the United States government worked with the Mexican government, and they brought over Mexican citizens to do farming and things like that, because a lot of people were moving to industrial jobs during the war. So the article that you're going to read is about the Bracero program, what it was, why it was created, and then your focus is to compare that to what you know about sharecropping. Does that make sense? Okay, so first what you're going to do is fill out this like pre-reading so that you can get a feel for what your article is going to be about. So at the top in this triangle here, you're going to want to brainstorm what do you think is going to be the purpose of this text. Is it going to inform you of something? Is it going to teach you the theme of something? Is it going to persuade you? So in this box you would say this text is going to inform me or persuade me or teach me the theme of. Does that make sense?
We read that now?
No, in a second. So, and then on this next part, you're going to write down what is the type of text that this is. Again, informational, entertainment, or persuasive. And then how is it structured? Is it chronological? Is it in topics? Is it cause and effect? And you'll look at the headings for that. Then you have what thinking skills might you need to read this text. So you can think about your annotations, making connections, and other types of thinking skills as you're reading. Then how are you going to organize the information? So you know that your purpose is to understand what the Bracero program is and how that relates to sharecropping. As you read, how will you organize the information? And then what key questions might this answer? So you would write some questions that you have after just briefly going over it, and then what words or phrases will you learn? So take like 30 seconds, pull out your text, the Bracero program, look over the title, look over your headings, look at some of the words in the paragraphs, and take like 2 to 3 minutes to fill out this pre-reading. Does that make sense?
Have what?
Questions?
We did another one of these.
Okay.
Oh, I meant one of these.
So you don't have to start reading it. You're just going through and saying, what's this text going to be about? What's the purpose of it? What are some questions that it will answer for you?
Wait, what are we writing?
I do not get this.
Okay, let's do this in steps. So, take a second. In this top triangle here, what's the purpose of this text going to be?
We don't know.
So, it says the Bracero program.
It's a
It says, what is it, the purpose of it, the impact of the war. So, if you know that it could be to inform you of something, to teach you the theme of something, to persuade you to do something, using those sentence frames, what do you think the purpose of this text is? So, in this top box, I would say, the purpose of this text is. And then whatever it is. And then your next step, what type of text is it? You have 3 types of texts: informational, persuasive, or entertainment. What type of text is it? Does that make sense? And you just have to say informational, persuasive, or entertainment. And then in the next one, how is the information presented? By topics, in order, cause and effect. If you don't know this, look at your article and then make a prediction. That's the purpose of this, is just to frame your reading. What's up, Melissa?
So we just like
What type of text it is? Yeah, that's all you write. And then in your middle one, the thinking skills needed for this text. So, do you need to organize the information to compare and contrast it? Do you need to organize to see how one piece of information caused another piece of information? Does that make sense? So I might say, I need to think about how it connects to something. I need to think about what caused this event. Write that there. And then in this next box, key questions this text might answer. So what's a really good process for this is to look at your headings and think about what's presented in all of these sections and what questions might that answer. So right now you've never heard of the Bracero program. That's probably one thing that this text is going to answer. What is the Bracero program? Does that make sense? So you can even just write that one. We can do that one as a class. What is and then any words or phrases that you think that you'll learn. Okay, take like 30 seconds, finish that up. And then once you're done, you can flip that over, because on the back, as you read, I'm going to have you do a double bubble since you're comparing it to the sharecropping. So you'll do sharecropping in one bubble. The Bracero program in another bubble. We don't know anything about the Bracero program yet, but we do know a lot about sharecropping. So we can put some pieces of information about sharecropping.
what the heck?
What's one thing that you know about sharecropping?
I did my
Miss, can we not do
I did mine like this.
Yeah,
Give
Miss,
me a
that's
diagram? Sure, that's fine, that's fine,
how I was gonna do mine.
that's fine. Yeah, but first, what's one thing that we know about sharecropping?
They used to build on the.
They barely get paid.
Okay, so not much money. Not much money is one thing. Another thing that we know about sharecropping. Safe. Okay, so mostly black previous slaves is what, Tyler, is that what you said? And then that would be like their family members after slavery. What else do we know about sharecropping?
It was built
Adele.
on the
It
like.
ended after World War II.
Okay, so it ends after World War II, so we know that World War II has an influence in there. What else do we know about sharecropping?
They were
Melissa?
built on
Most families were poor.
Okay, so not much money, most families were poor. Okay, so keep that information there so that you have it, and now as you read your article, you're going to annotate for connections to sharecropping. Again, read this by chunks. So get annotations, like probably one for each chunk. And then I will take about 15 minutes to get this text finished so that we can move on to discussion and finishing your double bubble. If you want to add to your double bubble as you read, you can do that as well. Does that
Yes,
make
we have to
sense?
finish this by lunch.
Nope, you need to finish this reading in 15 minutes. Make sense?
And I don't take anything.
Okay. If you want to read in pairs, you can, but you need to be reading in that time. Okay? Okay, go ahead.